Hello everyone, Brad Halverson here, going to give you a brief walkthrough of the demo track that I composed for the Struck Grand library by Soundiron. The piece is entitled The Machinist. For those of you who have not heard it, I'm just going to give you a brief excerpt here so you have an idea of the sounds that were used and what we'll be dealing with today. So as you can hear, we have a lot of different sounds in there. We have some percussive sounds, some sound effects, some melodic sounds, and some sustained kind of ambient sounds, all of which come from within the library. These three tracks on the bottom that I used are actually stock sounds from my digital audio workstation, which is Logic Pro 9. So what we're going to do is we'll actually just mute these and concentrate solely on the sounds from the Struck Grand library. The first two that I want to highlight here, these top two, are the underlying percussive element of the piece, or pitched percussive element of the piece, which I really enjoy. I really like a percussive element that is also tuned, so you can play it in any key, and it really fits nicely into the overall mix. So the two samples that were used here, both from the Master Layer Builder. The first one is just the struck piano with the mute down, and the second one is the hammered piano. As you can see here, we've got the hammer, and here we have the mute down. So these two sounds, as I said, very percussive, but also tuned, and this is what they sound like. So as you can hear, you have kind of that strong initial percussive attack followed by a sustained pitch. And like I said, it really works quite well as an underlying driving percussive element. Also on the percussive side, we have these two here, both of which are the same sample. I just used two separate tracks and panned one to the left, one to the right. This is the FX Steel Slide piano sample, as you can see right here. And basically what this is a metallic percussive element that really does not have a whole lot of pitch. Some of them do. You can kind of play around with it and find ones that you like, but the ones that I chose don't really have an element of pitch that's more just a metallic percussive sound, and this is what they sound like. Played together with the struck sounds. So you've got yourself a pretty strong percussive foundation there. The next one I want to go over is this sustained sample right here. This is a really cool sample to use. This is also from the Master Layer Builder sample, but you can see it's a sustain here. And basically what this is, it's a very long, sustained kind of ambient sample with an initial attack on it. If I play it just by itself, this is what you'll hear. So as you can hear, it is quite sustained. The nice thing about it too, since it has that long sustain built into it, you actually can just strike very softly on the keys. You'll notice here in these MIDI notes that I did not have to play them long at all. So it gave me a pretty wide range in terms of selecting the notes that I wanted to build into it. And that's really great. Also, it really gives you the opportunity to build these ambient sounds that can be dissonant or consonant if you wish, and it's really quite nice to have in the background. And also along those lines is this Bizarro effects sample, which is similar, but it's got some effects built into it, and I'll play that for you. So again, you have nice long sustained effects, and you don't have to hold the notes down. As you can see, I actually kind of threw quantization to the wind and tempo to the wind and just sort of played it however I felt like it, and really created this nice sort of creepy, affected ambient background there. And also along the lines of the effects, we have these scrapes. And the one thing I do want to bring up here is this offset knob here. You'll notice with these scrapes, if we turn the offset all the way down, they're actually quite long. So in a piece like this, I really wanted something a bit shorter. And the nice thing about the offset is it allows me to start the sample from a different starting point. So if I move this up to 25 and play the same sample again, you'll notice that it's quite a bit shorter. And this is really nice, like I said, and kind of a quicker tempoed piece when you want just a real short, natural, organic sounding scrape. And that's what I was going for here, and it works quite nicely within the whole scope of this one. And lastly, we'll highlight the melodic element here. This is a pick, piano, and release that I used for the lead. We'll go ahead and solo it so you can hear what it sounds like by itself. Nice little sample there. So you'll notice that I've actually adjusted the release here as well. If I turn this all the way down, we get a very short, choked sound. And we'll play it again. And the reason you hear a little bit of sustain there is because when I played this, I actually held the keys down on the long notes, and I'll show you that. But if you were to shorten these, just to a short little attack, and play it again, it's actually a really short, choked sound. Just fix these real quick. And of course, the opposite of that is if we turn the release all the way up to the top, you get a very nice long sustained sound, which depending on the piece that you're writing works quite well. In this case, if you hear it, it doesn't work because you get a lot of pitch blending. So that's why I chose to adjust this release down to about 50. And we get a nice, not too short, not too long, picked piano string sound. Similarly, we have here, which is the picked choke, which is the picked choked piano pedal switch sample. And it's a very similar sample, but it's really short. And I used this just to kind of have a little background dissonant kind of counter melody. So played with the melody, it sounds like this. Okay. So now we're going to put it all together. Bring back our Logic instruments here. And here our final result.